We're gonna do a playoff challenge while breaking down all of these playoff games and talking through them and trying to figure out, who we like to win. But it's not going to be my pick. It's not going to be Scotty's pick. It's not going to be Rex's pick. It's going to be our collective choice of who we think. So we might have to have some quick voting going on, Rex, on some of these. Maybe it'd be rapid fire if we do need to break some ties. But we're going to try to make this as consensus as possible and try to make this a thing to where we get the most picks correct. So
I get veto power on all of them, correct?
No. we actually get veto power over you.
No, Rec. You don't even know the NBA. Come on now.
Canada got to say ever hear a bad thing about the Celtics this year? The Celtics, they're gonna go far. I'll tell you that if it were my pick, I would take the Celtics to go all the way to the NBA Finals. If you guys agree with me, if we're a consensus, we'll make it happen.
Whoa! What happened to your Cavs, Chris? What happened to your Cavs?
I like
Before,
the Cavs.
I think you only had like three teams that could win it, and I don't think the Celtics were the Celtics in there.
Celtics were in there. Absolutely. Celtics were in there. So let's go ahead. I'm going to bring this up, and we're going to just do this a little bit. All right, so we're going to zoom in, and we're going to...
A little bit, not a lot of it.
A lot of it. And we're going to go down each side of this bracket, and we're going to break down each game, and we're going to... Scotty and I will be giving some of our analysis to help through some of these picks, and we're going to go one by one, and we're going to decide what we like. And as we get to the end, we'll pick our finals matchup, and we'll see who ends up winning the finals. Once we have all the picks submitted, we will lock it in, and we're going to figure out, how we do as the playoffs continue to roll on. So let's start. Do you want to start in the Eastern Conference or Western Conference?
Oh, let's do East. That's boring.
All right, let's go to the East.
East is boring.
All right. So we got Cavs and their opponent to be determined.
Tibbet. I like Tibbet. Tibbet here.
Yeah. Their logo's kind of weak, though. Cavs versus Tibbet. We got the Pacers and Bucks in the 4-5 matchup. We got the Knicks and the Pistons, and we got the Celtics and the Magic won. So they moved on, and they are playing the Celtics in that 2-7. So, all right. Let's go ahead. Let's start with the Cavs. I don't think it really matters who ends up being that 8 seed.
Update the 8 seeds, the Miami Heat.
Let's go ahead.
Incorrect, Rec. They have to play the Hawks.
They have to.
Okay, so it's Miami versus Atlanta. Okay.
Correct.
Miami versus Atlanta would be.
You just know ball, Rec.
I know all about it.
The
Cavs versus Heat or Hawks.
Yeah, I don't think it really matters. I think the Cavs end up. Are we pretty consensus Cavs, everyone, across the board?
I don't think we need to do a poll on that one.
No polls.
The Heat do like to upset 1 seeds.
This isn't the same Heat team that we've been used to seeing with Jimmy Buckets, playoff Jimmy. It's not the same Heat team. So we're gonna go Cavs. Black Market says Cavs. Let's see who else. Everyone else. Chairman says Cavs. Okay, we got it.
Brendan likes the Lakers in this matchup, I guess.
Brendan likes the Lakers. All right, let's go to the.
He must be ESPN then.
All right, let's go to the opposite end. We got Celtics and Magic.
Celtics.
Again, I think this is pretty straightforward. I don't think we need to overthink this. Black Market says Celtics. I say Celtics. Scotty, you say Magic. Don't lie.
I do.
Don't lie.
No. I really like.
Now, I do love the way the Magic play. I think this will be an interesting. I think the Magic can maybe get a couple grind out games, maybe at most. But I love the Magic's have been playing some good defense. They just can't shoot, so that's their problem. And the Celtics can do both.
Can Boston shoot though? I mean, they just had 3 of the top 10 3-point made players in the NBA this year.
Yeah,
Can you name those 3 right off the top of your head, Chris? Who were the 3 on the Celtics that were top 10 in 3-pointers made this year?
Tatum,
Brown.
Tatum, Brown. I'm not. I'll let you know at the end if you're right.
Is it White?
You got 2 out of the 3. The one that's wrong is Brown.
Yeah, I got it right. See, I know ball.
And I got White.
White and Tatum are correct.
White, Tatum, and
They still have-
it's Pritchard.
Peyton Pritchard.
Oh yeah.
Pritchard off the bench. Yeah.
Who led? There's a real random stat right here. Who led the NBA in 3-pointers made this year, Chris?
And 3-pointers made Pritchard.
Jokic.
No, no. I think Pritchard was like 7th.
Pritchard was up. I mean, he doesn't even start. That's the crazy thing. Pritchard doesn't even start, and he's up there crazy high.
Black Market. I know. Woo.
Is that supposed to be the sound of a wolf?
Well, so someone from the Timberwolves?
Is it the pure volume of Anthony Edwards?
Anthony Edwards, number 1.
I mean, he jacked up a shit ton of them this year. He was like on a mission to get more 3-pointers up this year than any. Like, he was crazy.
You know what's even crazier? You know who number 2 was? Oh my gosh, why am I drawing a blank on this? Old friend alert, Chris. Old friend alert.
On is it 3-point percentage or 3-point made?
Makes. How many makes?
You know.
Old friend.
Oh, is it Malik Beasley?
It is Malik Beasley.
I remember he was like halfway through the season. He was weirdly high up on these 3-point lists, and I didn't keep tabs on him over the course of the season. And shout out to Detroit. There you go, Chairman. Malik Beasley.
Yep, Steph coming in 3rd, but he was like, I think he was like 8 behind, or he was like 11 behind Anthony Edwards at number 1, and he played like 8 fewer games than Anthony Edwards. So if we're talking per game average, I think Steph still is 1, but not number 1 in total.
There you go. Yeah, it was a weird season for 3-pointers. It's. Yeah.
Sorry, just got on a little tangent there, but
yeah, Celtics. That's again, the Magic can't shoot. That's the if there's anything the Magic need to work on next season is getting some shooters around some of those studs that they have, because their defense, the rebounding, they're one of the best teams from that standpoint. The defensive side of the basketball, they just need to get some shooting. They just won't be able to get it done against the Celtics. All right, let's go to the 4-5 matchup. This is a fascinating matchup. Bucks, Pacers. Put the poll up for this one while we break this down. And make it a somewhat fast poll.
Yeah.
So 4-5 matchup here in the East. The Bucks without Damian Lillard. However, while Damian Lillard has been out, Giannis has been kind of on that Jokic style triple-double, putting up this team on his back. I would say the Pacers have an overall better team from like a pure 1 through maybe the top. I would say if you're talking about the best 3 to 5 players in this series, I would say the Bucks have 1, maybe 2, probably not. The rest, the next few best players in this series are probably on the Pacers side of the ball, which makes it a kind of coin flip style of a matchup here. I lean Pacers, but I could totally see an argument for the Bucks.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, if Dame's in there, it might be a different story. But without Dame, that's a big. I mean, who's your second best scorer on the Bucks is like Kyle Kuzma. Ugh. And obviously the Pacers are fast paced, up and down, kind of high scoring team. You got Siakam, you got Halliburton. Benedict Mathurin. I can never say his name.
Yeah.
I just like the depth. Obviously, the best player in the series is
Giannis.
There's no doubt about that. And it's not close there, but I would lean towards the depth of the Pacers roster over the Bucks.
Well, and here's another little wrinkle into it too: is this will be would this be the 3rd straight year if they lose in the first round that the Bucks are 1 and done? Which, if you're looking at that, if the Pacers win this series, I mean, all the pressure's on the Bucks to win because they can't lose to the Pacers and go into an offseason knowing the smoke that's been brewing with this whole Giannis put me in a position to win kind of mentality every offseason, the last 2 or 3 off seasons, he's kind of had this little smoke and mirrors thing of, hey, I want to be on a winning team. If you can't put things around me, maybe I look elsewhere. Maybe I start getting a little antsy being in Milwaukee. So
I saw a clip from a talk show that was actually talking about a potential Nuggets deal with things go right for both these teams in the playoffs, the Bucks and Nuggets, where the Nuggets send like Murray, MPJ, and I don't remember if it was like Gordon or Christian Brown, one of those two, maybe Christian Brown, for Giannis. And picks probably, and we'll probably picks getting sent to the Bucks, but you have potentially like the two best players, and arguably the two best players on the planet, but I don't know if that's a great fit, to be honest. I don't know.
I don't know how that. Yeah, yeah, that would be interesting. I would hate that. Well, I would hate to get. Murray, Christian Brown, and MPJ. That's a lot. Plus picks, plus that's.
Well, and you're probably not just getting Giannis back because you got to get the money.
You got to get the money to work for sure.
You got to have some other people probably come back because Murray's making that bag. MPJ's making a pretty solid amount too. So you'd have who knows? A couple guys maybe from the Bucks coming back. Who that would be? I don't know. Old man Chris Middleton or something.
Yeah, old man. He needs to retire. He needs to be done. All right. So do we feel in the chat? Who do you guys got? Black Market got the Pacers. I don't think the poll was. I don't think anyone voted on the poll. Black Market says it didn't work. So
it wasn't working. So great work, Rick.
So I lean Pacers. Scotty leans Pacers. By the way, actually, you know
Pacers, Orioles, Pacers.
And then also too, Vegas odds. Let's go. I guess we should probably keep that in mind too. Pacers minus 215 to win the series. So just keep that in mind. The Bucks are
minus 215
plus 180. Plus 180 for the Bucks. So let's go Pacers. Yeah, are we good Pacers? Chairman says Bucks. Pacers says Orioles.
The consensus is Pacers.
All right.
Y'all.
All right, we'll go Pacers. So we got Pacers and Cavs in the next round. Pistons and Knicks. Chairman's got the Knicks.
Obviously.
I'll
try another poll.
So this is another one. Pressure is I'll tell you this. Similar to the Bucks not wanting to get bounced in the first round again for another one. The Knicks made a ton of offseason trades. Mikal Bridges, they sent out on that trade, the Julius Randle trade to go get Cat. They have all of these stars that, between Brunson and
OG's been balling.
Like they made all the moves. They put a team on the map. So a first round exit to the Pistons would be a disaster for the Knicks. So there's a little pressure from that standpoint. The Pistons playing free. They made it to the playoffs after a 14-win season. So they're coming out and they're just like, we're happy to be here. Let's just ball. So I think this is going to be, the Pistons won't be a knockout. They won't be a knockover team. They're not going to be some, team that you're going to get some, free wins and on to the next round. But the Knicks are the better team. So, that being said, what do you guys think in the chat? Let me know. Who do you got winning Knicks versus Pistons?
Currently, the poll is 1-1.
Scott, what? By the way, the odds on this series, according to FanDuel Sportsbook, New York Knicks minus 420, Pistons plus 330.
I have a hard time seeing the Pistons being able to. Obviously, first time in the playoffs for a lot of their marquee guys. they're going to play hard. I have no doubt the Pistons are kind of what the Knicks were maybe a couple of years ago, where it's like a play hard team that works their butt off during the regular season, but maybe doesn't have enough in the playoffs. They need a couple. They need a couple more guys before they're a legit threat. Knicks with Brunson and Cat and OG and McHale, Josh Hart, too much firepower over there. I think the Knicks will definitely take that series.
Yeah,
we got a
tie in the chat, but Oriole says Knicks. Black Market says Knicks. Chairman says someone called into Detroit radio, Detroit local radio station, and said the Knicks in a sweep. Knicks in 4. Knicks in 4.
I was gonna say we should probably do that for these games.
Knicks.
Like, how many games does the series end in?
Yeah, you can mention it. Yeah, but
Knicks, but Detroit could make it a series. I think. Oh shit! What did I do? I want to say. What did I do?
you lost it all.
I lost
It's
it
all
all.
gone. No,
Good
you're just on the
job.
second. You're on the second round. You got to move over.
Yeah, I got you. All right.
Yep.
I think it's the Knicks. Let's go Knicks. I think that seems fair. I think that there's a lot to like about the Pistons, and the Pistons are on their way up, but they're just not there yet. They're just happy to be in this situation. The fact that they made the playoffs and they're not worrying about any play-in tournament, they're here. They made it. They've had a great season. Shout out to the Pistons. I think this is where their time runs out. All right.
They're very chalky.
Very chalky in the East. Let's go to the East Conference semis. I still think the Cavs are the cream of the crop here. I think everyone should think that. Pacers had a nice little run to this point. I think that's where this runs out. Love Tyrese Halliburton. Love what the Pacers can do. But this Cavs team, I think they're just going to be too much. Chat, let us know. Scotty, your thoughts.
Yeah, I think the Cavs are just an overall better team than the Pacers at this point. Certainly defensively, when you have the interior that they have defensively to prevent stuff going to the hoop.
The size is
size matters, Chris.
Size
or that
Size matters.
So I hear.
Cavs in 6, Cavs in 5.
I think the Cavs might take care of the Pacers
Oh,
pretty.
the Rockies are making a
decently
comeback.
easy.
Don't call it a comeback. 5 to
Five.
7. 5 to 7.
I think they have 5 runs in the third. I think that would be their third highest run total in a game this year. I'm not kidding. I think that's actually accurate.
You're telling me
So you're telling me there's a chance?
there's a
there's
chance
only
for them
one
to
out.
win. There you
Only
go.
one out in the inning.
We'll take it. All right. Everyone else, Cavs in 6, Cavs in 5. I got Cavs. I will say 5. I think the Pacers will take one game from the Cavs, maybe, but let's go Cavs. Cavs locking it in. Knicks and Celtics.
You love your Boston.
I hate to love Boston, but
7-6.
7. What's happening in this game? I just don't understand
Bucks are
what's happening in this
going
game.
off.
Boston Celtics, they number 2 offensive rating, number 5 defensive rating. This is right where they were last year when they won the championship. They're bringing back the same team. They're more cohesive. They've had a championship season together, plus a couple before that, plus this one. They're well rested. They've been kind of just coasting into the playoffs at this point, knowing they weren't going to get the number 1 seed. So they were locked into number 2. They're a really well-oiled machine. As much as the Knicks have put together, this will be an interesting series, and this will be a very entertaining series. If everyone's healthy for the New York Knicks, I think this ends up being around a 6-game series, maybe. But I got the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, I think
That's
this
the
would be
Celtics.
a fun series to watch. I think the Knicks are the best version of themselves they've been in, forever. This is the best Knicks team we've seen in a very long time. but the Celtics are too much. Celtics are too much. Too much shooting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, defending champs, hard to go against Boston in this one. So we're straight chalk so far in the East.
It's going to be chalky in the
Straight
East.
chalk.
Yeah. Straight chalky in the East. Now, we'll come back to the Cavs and Celtics unless we want to pick our finals.
Oh, sorry. I just went. I already put the poll up. My bad. I can.
Okay, no, that's fine. No, that's fine. You want to do it?
Yeah, let's just
do it.
finish off the East.
Let's finish off the East. All right, that's fine. So, Cavs and Celtics. Here's a couple things on top of what I mentioned with the Celtics. They've been here. They know what to expect. They've been through the trials leading up to the season's falling short in the Eastern Conference Finals, falling short in the semis. And so they kind of had the same route of all the other teams that I feel the Nuggets did the same thing. Nuggets had to battle their dues going through, their second round exits, their Western Conference Finals exits to get to the point where they knew what it took to get all the way through. This Cavaliers team, I believe, only has one player, maybe, I think, that has, I want to say, an NBA Finals under their belt. I think. And so it's from a pure experience standpoint and from a pure longevity through the playoffs and getting through this many series, I want to say it's going to be it's hard to see young teams or new teams to the NBA Finals just come in and just get there and win. You don't see it very often. You see the progressions through the playoffs. That's why I'm kind of hesitant on Cleveland. Boston's been there. They know what it takes. So from the pure experience standpoint and the just what they have as a team, they're well coached. It's hard for me to go against Boston in this one. As much as I do want Cleveland to be here, I think they're a year away.
Listen, I think Cleveland, I don't know that they're a year away. I think this is their maximum potential. This is the best season they're ever going to have in the regular season. You know me. Like, if you're going to beat a juggernaut Celtics team, I don't know if Donovan Mitchell can be your best player on your team. I don't know if that's enough to beat a juggernaut Celtics team that has Tatum and Brown and Porzingis and all the, Derek White, Peyton Pritchard off the bench. Like, I don't know that having Donovan Mitchell as your best player is going to be enough in the playoffs to overtake this really, really, really good Celtics team that could repeat, frankly. So for me, it'd be the Celtics. Props to the Cavs. They were way better this year than I think anyone ever imagined. And they're clicking, but it's hard to go against the Celtics there.
Yeah, and they split the season series 2-2. So they were good games too. 120
to one game in the a month or two ago, the Celtics were up 25-3 or something stupid to start the game.
Yeah.
Cleveland came back and won. So
yeah, starting back, Boston 120-117, Cleveland 115-111. So that's a 3-point game, a 4-point game. Then you have 112 Boston to 105. Then you had Cleveland 123-116. All of which, the 123-116 game was the biggest differential of those games. Cleveland ended up winning that one. So that would be one of the best series I could possibly ask for, especially, we typically don't get a lot of Eastern Conference that you get excited about. I think that series would still be a solid series. Plus, I'm curious on two things. One with the Cavs, one with the Thunder. They spent a lot of energy attacking the regular season. They spent a lot of energy winning a ton of regular season games. And then you still have all these rounds of the playoffs to continue that energy and that pace. I'm curious to see a team that hasn't made it to the NBA Finals in both of those teams recently, where Is that going to hurt them? Are they going to be out of gas by the time they get to the Western Conference Finals? That's what we saw when Minnesota attacked the regular season super hard most recently. And then they were afterwards. Anthony Edwards was like, "Man, I didn't realize, man. Now we know there's another round we got to be ready for." Like he even said they ran out of gas, and so that's what I'm worried about for the Cavs and the Thunder on either side of these brackets. Just curious.
Chairman says I haven't watched the NBA in a while, so is this like LeBron versus Bird? I'm trying to figure out when you watched the NBA, Chairman.
It's
trying to figure out. It's escaping me when LeBron and Bird matched up, but I'm sure I'm just missing something.
I'm trying to recall their latest matchup. It's not quite hitting my memory either. Yeah. So still voting Celtics. Absolutely. So Celtics, everyone's voting Celtics in 7. Okay. So we have the Celtics going to the NBA Finals as a repeat, as a back-to-back. All right. So then let's go to the West side of the bracket and start breaking this down. We'll start with the 1 and 8 seeds and then the 2 and 7. Pretty easy. I'm pretty sure we're going to go Thunder in this one. Best regular season team.
I mean, they might be going against Memphis, so you never know.
If I will say, Rec, I will be the biggest Memphis fan just in the sense that I want Memphis to take them to like 6 or 7 games. Do I think it'll happen? Probably not. But
Ja will literally have to either shoot or drop a grenade.
just throwing it in the crowd.
Literal.
Just
Yeah.
nuke
Take
the
out their
Thunder.
squad.
I mean, he's got a full arsenal under that jersey. Just he's got everything down there. He's got grenades. He's got,
You gotta be prepared.
you know.
And that's only if they even make it. They got to beat
Dallas.
Chris. Nico Harrison is getting retribution right now. Dallas at Sacramento up 71-48 at half.
Bruh.
Woo!
Look
Wow,
out.
Nico
Stomping the favorite Kings.
Wow, the Kings not showing up.
So we could have the Mavs Thunder, which that might be over in 2.
That'll be quick. That'll be a quick. Eesh. That would be a tough one. All right. Either way, Thunder, Lightning, and the Thunder. Going on to the next round. Warriors, Rockets. I will say this will be an interesting series. Rockets finished with the 2 seed. Do we think they're as good as their seed reflects? I don't know. I think that's yet to be determined. But the Rockets, 4th in defensive rating in the NBA. So defensively, and they're a young, scrappy team. They're well coached. They're one of the they have one of the best coaches in the NBA at the helm. So I like the fact that they have a team that's going to be. They're going to be kind of a tough out for the Warriors. I don't think this is going to be a quick series. I think it'll be kind of a scrappy series, and Houston will want to muck this up a little bit. Meanwhile, you got the Warriors. You just got Jimmy Butler. You didn't get Jimmy Butler to lose in the first round. So the Warriors are going for it. Coming in at the 7th seed, they got knocked out in that, or they lost that game to the Clippers in overtime coming into the season, which put them into this position where they had to play in the play-in. They won the play-in, and they are playing the Houston Rockets in round 1.
Did they though?
I mean, you could say that there was some calls that four that they identified that were a little questionable towards the end of that game. However, that's how the cookie crumbles, Rec. I'm sorry. Your boys didn't quite get on the right side of that one. But Warriors, Steph Curry, anytime you got a Steph Curry, you can't count them out. Draymond, obviously. gives them some of that toughness. Size is kind of the issue for the Warriors, but Scotty, your thoughts, and then chat. Let us know who you like in this series between Rockets and Warriors.
I think the series odds I just looked on this are Golden State minus 190. So they're the favorite
Really?
as the 7 seed. But I think some of that is built into just name recognition. And people being like, the Warriors have Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, whatever he is at this point.
Whatever he is.
Whereas the Rockets, this is their first postseason berth with all these dudes. I got a funny feeling though. The depth is so much better on Houston, and they can throw waves. Whereas, if you're Golden State, you are, to barely survive that playing game against Memphis, you had to have Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry combined for like almost 80 points in that game. And I don't know if you can rely on that game to game against this Rockets team and expect to come out ahead doing that. So because they're just a little top heavy, where I can see the Rockets, and Steph sometimes in the playoffs has had stretches. Obviously, he's had a great career in the playoffs, but like stretches where he goes cold. And if Steph goes cold, the Warriors are done. They need Steph to be Superman in this series.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be a fascinating. Size-wise, I think Houston. You got what? You got Sengun. I love some Sengun, and you know how Draymond feels about Euros. So you're going to see some fireworks there. Definitely in a 7-game series. But Steven Adams coming off the bench. You have Dylan Brooks. You have some toughness on this Houston Rockets that I just think that they're going to be gritty, and they're going to come in and they're going to try to frustrate the Golden State Warriors. I don't know. Chat, what do you guys think?
Don't sleep on our boy Jeff Green. Speaking
Jeff
of Green,
tough.
tough.
Uncle Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
Uncle Jeff
he might be soon. He may not be. He might be Grandpa Jeff. Uncle might be leaving the building.
Yeah. He's Uncle Jeff. He's balding a little bit on the top, but just saying. The
key for Houston is to just not let Dylan Brooks shoot. If they can avoid Dylan Brooks shooting all the time,
Warriors did take the season series 3-2. So there are. Take that what you will. What do you guys think in the chat? I got Warriors in 7, says breasts milk. Breast.
You
You
held that note a little long.
breasts.
Well, yeah, and they did match up somewhat recently at the beginning of this month, and Golden State did win that game. But feels like Houston's kind of been knowing where they're gonna fall and not exactly been pouring it out there. Of course, I say that, and I'm looking back at that game. Dylan Brooks was 10 of 13 from the field in that game. Of course he was.
Chat, what do you guys think on this one? By the way, Warriors 15th offensive rating, 7th defensive rating on the season. So,
I read that wrong. The Rockets won that game. I can't read, Chris. The Rockets won their most recent matchup.
That checks out. No, reading is hard.
To read.
Yeah. So
what does that W mean next to it?
It means to wallow in shame.
Yeah, you know what? For me, I kind of lean. I would like to pick the Rockets.
I would get 2 for Rockets, 1 for the Warriors.
I'm on the Rockets. To the moon.
Rockets in a first round upset. Chat, what do you guys got? Let us know. I know there's more of you in the chat than Black Market in there. Let's go. Who do you guys like? This is, by the way, this is a team thing. We're all in this together. I don't know, but I want
We're
the
all in
Warriors.
this together.
Yeah, I think the NBA probably wants the Warriors.
Rockets. So we got 3 for Rockets.
3 for
2
Rockets, 2 for
Warriors.
Warriors. Do we go Rockets? Let's go Rockets. I think we go Rockets.
Let's do it.
Rockets in the books. All right, let's get to the series that matter. No, I'm just saying. I'm just kidding. Let's get to these other 4-5 matchup. Nuggets Clippers. This is easy. It's Nuggets. It's easy. No,
Clippers all day.
no. So let's break down the Western Conference odds for Nuggets Clippers. Nuggets minus 118. This is falling a little bit, Scotty. It was
opened like minus 160.
It was minus 160 down to 118. No, wait.
I saw it at minus 110 earlier today. It was even odds.
No,
Minus 110.
I got on FanDuel. I was reading the wrong line. The Nuggets are underdogs all of a sudden. The Nuggets were favored. The Nuggets are now underdogs in the series at plus 100. The Clippers are minus 118. Ooh, we're getting some value on the Nuggets. First of all,
are you
getting
sure?
You're getting some, yeah.
Well, I mean, if you like the Nuggets, I don't know if I do, Chris.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. I know. All right. Let's break this down, because the Denver Nuggets have the best player in the series by far. I think that's easy to put out there. I mean, it's not rocket science. Nuggets will have the best player in the series. Nuggets have the 4th ranked offense in the NBA. Defensively is where they've struggled. They're ranked 20th. Now, the year they won the NBA Finals, they were around 14th going into the playoffs, and they got better as they got through the playoffs. They were a top 8 team, top 7 team defensively, and then that got better and better as the playoffs went on, just because the game slows down. You know, it's just a different style. A lot of the calls that teams get, they're not getting anymore. We talked a lot about this on the last show. And then you also have to deal with James Harden disappearing in the playoffs. We know this happens every single season. We know that that's not a surprise. Kawhi is the biggest thing that's really the difference here, because Kawhi is a different beast, and he can be a game changer. Kawhi comes in. This is one of the first years he's come into the playoffs feeling good and healthy. They've been on one of the hottest tears down the stretch of the NBA season. So I get a lot of people wanting to jump on this. But this is like, you know what this feels like to me, Scotty? This feels to me like we're talking about the Chargers all over again. We're talking about we always say the Clippers are the Chargers of the NBA. How everyone loves to jump on the bandwagon. The Nuggets have a psychological edge over this team. They have a size and star from a pure superstar advantage, best player in the series, but the Nuggets have never been scared of the Clippers. And I think they know they can beat the Clippers. And will this be a tough series? Yes. Do I think this could go 7? Yes. Do I think the Nuggets, with home court advantage in the Mile High, with a team that has been playing really good basketball over the last 3 games, and right? I mean, they've been playing some good basketball. Coaching advantage goes to
team's 18-3 in their last 21.
Actually, I would argue the coaching advantage goes to Denver, because Jokic is a much better coach than Ty Lue. Just saying. Scotty, why are you scared?
I mean, listen, the Clippers are hot. Clippers have won 18 of their last 21, and 2 of their losses are by 5 at Cleveland, and they lost to Oklahoma City by 2. So, I mean, they're almost undefeated, and then a weird loss at New Orleans, which, can happen in the NBA. Sometimes you just don't show up. But then the schedule down the stretch wasn't that difficult for the Clippers. It wasn't exactly a grueling stretch of teams. They had a pretty soft schedule. You look at their matchups this year, they haven't even played since January 8th, these 2 teams. And Denver won a couple of those games handily. The last matchup on January 8th, they won 126-103. They won, so that one was by 23. They won by 22 in December. So the Nuggets seem to play well. Now, Clippers did take the other two in narrow close games that were 3 and 5 points, I think. So 2 and, or maybe it was 2-1. I can't read, Chris. Keep that in mind. No, 2-2. They went 2-2 in the season series, but haven't played since January. I mean, things to like if you're the Nuggets. We've got experience. Most of these guys have won an NBA title. You have the best player on the planet. You have, hopefully, you get playoff Jamal Murray. I mean, the biggest key is we need playoff Jamal Murray and we need playoff James Harden. If we can get those two teams, this is a wrap, and Denver takes it. Because playoff James Harden ain't shit.
No.
But Kawhi, Zubac is probably going to win most improved player in the league this year. Like, I don't know where that guy came from. Now I think Jokic should be able to cook him on the offensive side of the ball. But Zubac's can kind of cook Jokic a little bit, and he's given him trouble when we've played the Clippers as far as putting up points and buckets. And he's had an incredible year. Norman Powell has been a key contributor for him. So the Clippers being hot scares me. The Nuggets are so kind of up and down, and I just want to see a consistent high level, and I haven't seen that recently. I know they won their last 3, Chris, but and yes, they come in with an undefeated coach.
Undefeated.
Do in the NBA
Yeah.
playoffs. Never lost as a head coach. So I'm nervous. Yeah, I think it's going to be a long series. And I'm also nervous about a 1:30 on Saturday, Chris. The Nuggets never play well in afternoon games.
No.
They're ever featured on like on ABC or whatever. They always lose. They always lose.
Yeah. And these are two opposite teams. I mean, defensively, Clippers, top 3 defensive team. Offensively, they're almost around 17 to 20 in that range over the course of the last part of the season. So they're literally opposites in what they're good at and what they are not so good at. So Nuggets, great offensively, not so good defensively. Clippers, not so great offensively, really, really good defensively. I think Norman Powell and you just can't let James Harden do much against you. If you could take James Harden out, I think Aaron Gordon is a great matchup to throw at Kawhi. We've seen that in the past have some success. I mean, Kawhi's always going to get his, and he's always going to be, able to get, some success. But I think that Aaron Gordon will draw that matchup quite a bit. So,
who's guarding Harden?
That's the.
Is it going to be Jamal, or are they going to put Christian Brown on him?
I think they might put Christian Brown, but I also think whoever's on him, whoever's roaming around trying to guard Norman Powell, you want to know who an X factor is for them? Norman Powell's going to have a series of his life. I feel like he's going to have such a strong series.
He averaged 22 a game this year.
Yeah, he's no joke, and he could hit threes. I mean, some of the threes that Harden was hitting. I think that the referees and the whistles are going to slow down for James Harden as well. But if you're asking me who worries me the most outside of the obvious, Norman Powell's the one that terrifies me the most going into this series. But from anybody, I don't know who's gonna guard him. So, all right. Either way, I personally, so chat, let me know who you guys like. I personally like the Nuggets in 7. That's me. I think
you already advanced them in the bracket.
I did, but that's not. I did that as a, just throwing that out there kind of move. Good juju, yeah. But if I could get outvoted, so. Chat, vote. I need you guys out there to let me know who you think will win this series. I think Storchio said Nugs, so we got Nuggets there.
We got Nugs. Yeah, we had a poll earlier. I forgot. I didn't see what the result was.
Guys, let us know. Storage Geo says Nuggets in 5. Ooh, I hope so.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, Black Bucket says it goes to 7 either way.
I think home court advantage comes into play, and I think that it's a fantastic game 7. Nuggets at home take care of business. Scotty, what do you got? You officially taking the Clips?
No, I'm taking the Nuggets.
Yeah.
Just don't know what we're gonna get from the Nuggets, and they're gonna be incredibly frustrating at times to watch.
They will be. They will be. All right. Well, if we have no one else talking in the chat, we're advancing the Nuggets. Nuggets move on. All right. Next up. Let's go to
Lakers and Timberwolves.
Lakers and Timberwolves, Chris. We got one more first round.
Yep. I think this is going to be a fairly quick choice here.
T-Wolves in 4?
T-Wolves in 4, baby. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. The odds, according to FanDuel Sportsbook, for this series, not quite a landslide, but Lakers just under 2-1, minus 194 to win the series. Timberwolves plus 162. I think this could have some potential. I mean, I think the Timberwolves. We've seen Anthony Edwards in the playoffs, and we know firsthand what he can do in the playoffs, Scotty. So Anthony Edwards is going to be a fascinating, and we know the Lakers just got Luka. Luka's coming in. First playoff run alongside LeBron James, so he's excited for that. There are also some defensive liabilities on the outside there, as far as Luka, and kind of he isn't exactly known for his defense. So Lakers size, they tried to get a backup center at the trade deadline. That backfired. That didn't work. So size is kind of an issue where Minnesota has a little bit of size, but it's Rudy Gobert, Julius Randle. Is Julius Randle going to come through and actually be an impact player? Does he shift into the playoffs as an impact player? That is yet to be seen.
I'm not a big Julius Randle guy, Chris.
Yes, I do. Yeah. I think both of us were kind of...
I wouldn't trust that. He's more a volume guy than anything through his career, so we'll see if he can be effective. I mean, the size, certainly, of Minnesota. I mean, you got Gobert in the middle, then you got Nasri coming off the bench, who's a monster. You got three-point shooting with, like, Jaden McDaniels, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Dante DiVincenzo, and then you have the number one three-point made guy in the league in Anthony Edwards. So, but unfortunately, while they're deeper, Luke has been so good in the postseason. Now he's going to play with LeBron, who's going to, I think LeBron takes a bit of a backseat to Luka in these playoffs, or he should, at least offensively, obviously. And Luka carries the day. Luka torched, obviously, the Timberwolves last year in the Western Conference Finals. So unless they figured out how to guard him since then, because they didn't have an answer for him last year, I think even though it's really just a three-headed monster in LA, I think that three-headed monster will be enough.
It's interesting. And I mean, here's the thing. Lakers finished the season 12th and 15th, respectively, in offensive and defensive rating. So, mid to low teens. Both double digits. Minnesota finished the season both in the top 10 in categories. They finished 9th offensively and around 6th defensively. So with that perspective, Minnesota has actually outperformed the Lakers this season, which makes me think this could be a deceiving. Like, I wonder how much, and chat, you probably, you guys feel this bias. The national bias towards the LA teams. All of a sudden, the Clippers win a few games, and they got all the love. And I know Kawhi's back, and I get it. But there is that LA. You want LA to move along. You want LA to be in the spotlight. You need this big market team for eyeballs.
What would ESPN do without the Lakers?
Yeah, and they want the Clippers to be there, but the Clippers always just disappoint the media. How much of this bias really goes into some of these? Because I will say Minnesota they're not some sisters of the poor over there. Like they have some talent, and they finished again top 10 in both offensive and defensive ratings, way better than a lot better than the Los Angeles Lakers. So I think this could be like a 6-game series. The star power, though, is LA. So it's hard for me to go against that as well. I mean, Luka, what this team is going to look like in the playoffs, JJ Redick is going to have them ready. I think I might be LA. I think I might go LA. But what do you guys...
ended in a tie. Big surprise.
Is there... I got to double check. I need to reopen the chat. I feel like the chat's not refreshing.
Yeah, chat hasn't said anything since the Nuggets thing.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure because I didn't even see the polls coming up. I didn't even see anything like that. So, all right. So then I think we're advancing, and usually we have Minnesota fans in here hanging out. Minnesota fans chilling.
They're taking a break.
Minnesota fans taking a break right when we start talking about their boys. But I think we can go ahead and just move.
Staying with chalk.
Staying with chalk. That's going to disappear.
Very chalky.
That's going to stop here right now.
Nope, it's not.
No. Yeah. Because here's what's going to happen. The Denver Nuggets are going to take care of business with the Clippers. The Thunder.
I hardly know her.
The Thunder are going to have a longer series than expected with their first round matchup. Whoever that is. I'll tell you this right now. If the Nuggets make it to the second round and they're healthy in the second round, I'm trying to take my bias out of it. I'm trying to take my bias. I'm trying to.
You're trying to, but you can't. The
Nuggets are the last chance to stop the Thunder from making it to the NBA Finals. They're the last chance.
I don't know if I'd say that.
Because here's the thing. I don't know if the Rockets or the Lakers have what it takes, or if they're built well enough to beat the Thunder. The Lakers don't have the size to deal with the Thunder. There's some mismatches there. Chet, Hartenstein, Lakers don't really have much to do, much there.
We could also get there once the Thunder beat the Nuggets.
The Rockets, as good as the Rockets are, I don't know if I don't see them beating the Thunder. At this juncture, the Nuggets are the only team that I can see beating the Thunder. And I think they would be live in this series. I think this could be almost a 7-game series. If the Nuggets are playing the best, if you get playoff Jamal Murray, along with Aaron Gordon with playing defense and being able to be a stopper there, I don't think, here's the thing. I don't think Shea is going to get the calls and the free throws and all of the grifting that he gets in the regular season because it is ridiculous. He doesn't get called free throw merchant for nothing. So in my estimation, I think that there's going to be the same issue that I had with the Cleveland Cavaliers with the Thunder. The Thunder, they put a lot of energy to take that regular season crown. I don't know if they're going to be ready to put in this heavy effort, this many rounds. That's just my argument for the Nuggets to be in this game, which I think they will be.
I'll put it like this. Like,
They're going to be Nuggets are going to be a heavy underdog. Don't get me wrong.
yeah.
But I do think they're the best team left in this Final Four to beat the Thunder.
Though, yeah, I remember though, if the Mavericks win, I'm gonna go Thunder in 4 and maybe 5. If the Grizzlies win, maybe it's more like 6.
Okay.
But you have to root for Memphis.
I need
You have to root
Memphis.
for Memphis
I need Memphis to
beat Dallas.
yeah.
They got to beat Dallas first, and then you got to root for them to not shit the bed.
So this is probably the hardest series for me because my heart says Nuggets, my head says Thunder. Because the Thunder, there's no denying how good the Thunder have been all season long. There's no denying that. I mean, they're number 3 offensively, number 1 defensively. That is insane. Their net rating, number 1. They're a plus 12.3 on the season. Pace,
Now,
they're
the
fifth.
Thunder do have the coaching advantage, considering their
No,
coach has been there all year.
no. Jokic is by far a better coach. Jokic is by far.
I say go with your head and go with the Thunder. Thunder in 6-7 games.
Are we trying to win money? Are we trying to win the money? If we're trying to win the money, I'll go Thunder.
Yeah.
And I hope I don't win a dime. I hope I don't buy any of you anything in the chat. That we don't win $1 million, and I don't buy you all the ActionLab gear.
Think about it. Either you win the series or you win the bet.
Is this betting on the Chiefs? Is this basically what we're doing? We're betting the Chiefs?
Yes, you are betting on the Chiefs.
Got it.
And I would say for the other one, same thing. Probably want the Rockets to win, but the Lakers are going to beat Houston. I'll go ahead and say that now. Lakers will. This is the first non-chalk pick. Lakers beat Houston.
I don't want to pick chalk in the Thunder. I would pick underdog in that one, but that's just me.
Unfortunately, remember how you were talking about all the the biases?
Yeah.
I feel like the biases might come into play here again. And also what you mentioned earlier about OKC putting everything they have. You can get the matchup that nobody outside these two cities wants.
Yeah. Thunder Celtics is our finals. I'll just put I don't think the Lakers have what it takes to make it.
I think that. I mean, they got Luka now, so they have a little bit of size at least.
The Thunder present a lot of different matchups. I mean, you have a team that's top 3 in offensive defensive rating versus a team that's in the teens in both categories. I think the Lakers will have a tough series against Houston, and I still think that this will end up being a if the Thunder make it past the Nuggets, they're going to the finals. I'll say that right now, which that's what we have them. They will not beat the Celtics in the finals. This will be this will be my consensus pick. Maybe I'll just go on a limb. Chat, let me know if you have any other discrepancies here.
Or let us know if you exist.
Or if you exist. That's true, too. Celtics will win the NBA Finals at this.
I go with you there. Celtics win no matter whether it's Thunder or LA.
So that's what we have here in our bracket. So that's what we're going to go with. Celtics win over the Thunder in the NBA Finals. Back-to-back champions, unfortunately. They win number 19.
What just happened to Scotty's room?
Who knows? We got some Twilight Zone stuff happening over there.
There's a ghost in Scotty's room, apparently.
Turning shit on and off over there. Like we got some shit happening over there. Something's going down.
Yeah.
All right. So Celtics Thunder, Celtics taking it. All right.
Hockey time.
Submit bracket. Let's go ahead. We'll submit that. Celtics will win.
So, so real quick, remind me, like, what happens, or like, what does the community get, or like, what does it take for the community to win?
Wait, what is this? How many? Wait, hold on, real quick. Tiebreaker. How many points will the Finals MVP? Oh, Finals MVP score in the 2025 playoffs?
In the whole playoffs?
Ooh. If the, well, is Tatum going to be the bridesmaid? Is he going to be the groom or the bridesmaid? What is that?
I mean, the bridesmaid.
The bride or the
bride.
the bride or the bridesmaid?
Yeah. I mean, we saw how he did last year.
I mean, Brown took over. I mean, is Brown the alpha? I think Brown's the alpha.
Yeah.
I don't know if Tatum's got it in him as much as Brown does. I would say if we put over the 2025 playoffs, if he what did he average last year? What's his season average? Let's see. Jaylen Brown, playoff average 2024. He averaged 23.9. Okay, so he averaged 23.9 times how many games? You think they go?
I'm trying to think. They probably win like 4 or 5 round one. So I go back to the east side of the bracket.
Okay, let's go back to the east side. Here, let's just shrink this down a little bit.
That's
So
okay. Magic, like, what are you gonna say? 4 or 5?
So
I'll go 5.
five games. So 20. So we're gonna give Brown average of 24 points. 24 points.
5, and then Celtics, who they play next?
Knicks, that's gonna go at least 6.
6. Okay, so 11 games. And
So
then they
11.
play-
Then the Cavs could go 7. Let's just say
Okay.
7. So we'll go 6 on the short
7.
side, 7 on the long side there. So that balances. And then
18, and then the finals against OKC.
that's going to go at least 6. That's going to go
Yeah,
easily 6.
I'll give it 6. Yeah, so that would be 576 points.
Okay. 5. Let's do 5. So we'll enter 575. We'll do 575 there. Boom.
Okay.
All right, easy. That's the easiest
Let's
$1 million
go.
I've ever won. Okay. So now that we're done with that, now that we have the chat fired up, we can we can really get into the nitty-gritty of some
Hockey.
NHL. We're probably not going to get to the NFL tonight, guys.
Yeah.
Which is fine. We'll just do more NFL on Sunday.
Yes.
So probably not going to get into the NFL tonight,
So
guys.
we're gonna have a stream tomorrow night.
Keep an eye out. We'll see. I think
Okay.
we'll see on tomorrow night. I think we could make it happen, but not promising anything. Just keeping you posted. We'll follow our Twitter, exclamation point socials in the chat, and exclamation point Discord. That's where we make all of our. There you go. All of our announcements in those 2 areas, especially Twitter. So go check those out. I don't know if Scotty's back yet.
Well, his room is black, so he probably got haunted by the ghost. I don't know why I said it like that.
don't know either.
I felt it as it came out of my mouth like that. That's wrong.
Okay, so now let's go ahead. I need to add in. Let's go ahead and add in. I didn't add this in. Scotty! All right.
We just made the NBA decisions for you.
We just finished up.
Celtics beat the Thunder.
We're not going to get to the we're not going to get to our NFL content tonight because we're running long. We're going to finish up with Stanley Cup playoffs, but we did get. It was a tough decision, Scotty, with the Lakers, the Nuggets and Thunder, and my argument just so you know, was the Nuggets are the only team that's going to stand in the way of the Thunder making it to the NBA Finals. I don't think the Lakers or the Rockets have what it takes to stop the Thunder. So if the Thunder beat the Nuggets, if they have enough gas in the tank from what they did in the regular season, much like I talked about with the Cleveland Cavaliers, if they can get past the Nuggets, which I think is going to be one of the toughest series they could possibly have, Nuggets going to play them tough. Then they got the Lakers after that. I do think they are just a better team than the Lakers across the board. They're going to be so out of gas by the time they make it to the NBA Finals that the Celtics are going to probably beat them in 6. And it probably won't be as close of a series as you would think. Celtics are a more veteran team. They've been there. I think the only player that has been on the Thunder that made it to an NBA Finals was old white boy. Who's the white boy? Reeves. Austin? No, not Reeves. Not what's his name? Old white boy.
For the Thunder?
Yeah, the bald dude that looks like your boy Monder.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Can't think of his name right now.
From the
That's bother me.
Lakers.
Played with the Lakers, then he went to the Bulls.
Yeah, Bulls, and then he got traded. Why am I blanking? Hold on, I got
it in a second here. Alex
Caruso is the only player as a veteran that knows what it's like to make it to an NBA Finals. None of the other Thunder know how. So I did what I did with your Chiefs. I picked the Chiefs because either I'm going to celebrate them losing or I'm going to make a lot of money. And I went with the Thunder. I went with my head over my heart. But the Nuggets are the only team standing in the way of the Thunder making it to the NBA Finals.
That could be. I don't know. I don't even know if the Nuggets are. I don't know that the Nuggets are. I mean, when they played back-to-back against the Thunder a month or so ago and split that in OKC, both games in OKC, I mean, that Nuggets game might have been the best they played all year.
Yeah.
And
they show up for the Nuggets. They show up for the Thunder. The Nuggets do.
But, I mean, they had to shoot great. The night before they gave up, or the day before they gave up $140 to them. So, I don't know, man. I hope you're right, and I hope the Nuggets, if they get past the Clippers, give the Thunder everything they want more. But I don't know if they have enough. Like I said, they're not consistent enough, and the Thunder have been the epitome of consistency this year.
Yeah. But I will tell you this. I'll do the Chuck guarantee. I guarantee the Thunder will not win the NBA Finals this year. Lock it.
Dr. J, no hope for the Nuggets. Scotty is actually.
What's up, Dr. J?
Yeah. Serious / loving my children waking up. Combo those two things.
The usual. And now time to talk about your favorite sport ever.
And sober.
And doing it sober.
Fine,